Be me, 28F, Masters in Critical Theory. I'm an independent cultural consultant, technically unemployed, live in a loft in the trendy arts district. Rent is $3,200 a month. I pay $0. Dad pays it directly to the landlord. He also covers my phone bill, car insurance, for the Subaru I convinced him to buy me, and deposits $2,500 monthly into my checking account for living expenses. I view this not as generosity, but as reparations. Dad is a 62-year-old general contractor, owns Wright Construction and Plumbing, built the business from the ground up starting in the 80s, hands permanently stained with grease, dirt, and callus, skin leathery from years of working in the sun. He is the literal embodiment of the patriarchy I study. White, blue collar, drives a Ford, watches football and drinks domestic beer. We have zero in common. Actually, that's not true. We share DNA, which I consider a tragic biological accident. I have spent the last 10 years of my life deconstructing him. Every Thanksgiving, every Christmas, every birthday is a lecture series. I sit at the head of the table and explain why his worldview is obsolete. He usually just eats his mashed potatoes and nods, doesn't fight back. Which infuriates me more. It's called stonewalling, and it's a form of emotional abuse. I've written 3 Medium articles about it. The Silence of the Father, how refusal to engage is an act of violence, got 400 claps, felt validated 2 years ago. I'm visiting home, suburban house, too big, too much lawn. Monoculture is bad for the environment, I told him. I'm sitting in the kitchen drinking matcha I brought with me because they only have Folgers. Dad comes in from the garage, wearing those dirty Carhartt overalls. Smells like sawdust and sweat. Hey Vanessa, he says, grabbing a water from the fridge. It's V, I correct him without looking up from my MacBook. Right, V. Listen, your car is in the driveway. I notice the front tires are looking a little bald. You want me to show you how to rotate them and maybe we go get new ones? I close my laptop slowly. Performative sigh. Dad, I don't have the mental bandwidth to engage in manual labor cosplay with you right now. He blinks. It's unsafe to drive on bald tires, kid. I can pay someone to do that. That's how the economy works. Specialization of labor. You don't need to mansplain car maintenance to me to feel useful. He stands there for a second, cracks the water bottle cap, takes a long drink. Okay, just offering. Well, don't. It implies you think I'm incompetent. I think you're book smart, Vanessa, but the road doesn't care about books. Wow, anti-intellectualism. Classic. I stormed out, went to a coffee shop to tweet about how toxic masculinity manifests as unsolicited advice, got 50 likes. He ended up taking my car while I was asleep the next morning and putting new tires on it. Didn't ask for money, didn't say a word. I never thanked him. Why should I? He endangered my autonomy by touching my property without consent. I framed it as a boundary violation to my therapist. She agreed. Fast forward to last year. I'm deep in my dissertation, stress levels high, spending most of my time at wine bars with my cohort. Julian, a performance artist who uses silence as a medium. Marlon, an adjunct professor who wears scarves in July. Alice, who is writing a memoir about her trauma growing up in a gated community. We sit around and critique the world. We talk about how hard we have it. The emotional labor of existing in this political climate is exhausting, I say, sipping a $16 Pinot Noir. Truly, Julian nods. My parents cut my allowance to $1,500 this month. It's literal financial strangulation. My dad is the worst, I chime in. He called me yesterday to ask if I filed my taxes. Like, hello? The government is a construct. Also, I don't have income. He sends me money. Why would I file taxes? He's trying to shackle you to the system, Marlon says darkly. Exactly. He wants me to be a cog. He hates that I'm free. Phone rings. It's Mum. I ignore it. Rings again immediately. I groan. Sorry guys, the womb carrier is persistent today. I pick up. What, Mum? I'm in a meeting. Vanessa, it's your father. Her voice is different, high-pitched, thin. What did he do now? Did he buy another truck? Did he cut down a tree? He collapsed at the job site. Silence on the line. He's in the ambulance. They think it's his heart or his lung. I feel a weird cold sensation in my stomach. Push it down, rationalize it. Okay. Which hospital? St. Mary's. Please come. I hang up, look at my friends. Ugh, Family drama. Dad had a health event, probably from eating red meat and repressing his emotions for 60 years. Are you going to go? Alice asks. I suppose I have to. Optically, it looks bad if I don't. Plus, I can probably get some good material for my chapter on the medical industrial complex. I finish my wine, call an Uber, arrive at the hospital. It's chaotic. Smell of antiseptic triggers my sensory processing sensitivities. Find Mum in the waiting room. She looks tiny, wearing a frantic, mismatched outfit. She hugs me. I stiffen. I'm here, Mum. You don't need to cling. It's bad, Vanessa. The doctor said, Stage 4. Stage 4 what? Lung cancer. But it spread. To the liver. To the bones. I blink, but he doesn't smoke. Asbestos, a doctor says, walking up, older guy, authoritative. I immediately dislike him. Mr. Wright has been working in old buildings for 40 years. Remodels, demolition. Back in the day, protection wasn't what it is now. He inhaled particles for decades. I crossed my arms. So, his job did this. Capitalism did. He traded his health for a paycheck. The doctor looks at me, unamused. He worked hard to provide for his family. It's a tragedy, not a sociology lecture. Excuse me, don't tone police me, Mum intervenes. Can we see him? He's stabilized. Room 401. Walking into the room, he looks deflated. That's the only word. Usually he takes up so much space. Broad shoulders, loud voice, heavy steps. Now he's just a lump under a white sheet, wires, tubes, monitors beeping rhythmically. His skin is grey, hands resting on the blanket. I stand at the foot of the bed. Well, I say. He opens his eyes, blue eyes, usually sharp, now cloudy. Hey, kiddo. It's V. He smiles weakly. Hey, V. So, asbestos. I told you. I literally sent you an article about environmental hazards in construction trades in 2019. Yeah, you did. You didn't read it. I was busy working, Vanessa. V. I was busy. Busy dying, apparently. Mum gasps. Vanessa, don't be cruel. I'm not being cruel. I'm being accurate. Radical honesty is part of my practice. Dad lifts a hand. It's okay, Mary. She's right. I should have worn the mask more. I should have listened. This throws me off. He's agreeing with me? Takes the wind out of my sails. Well, at least you admit it. I sit in the chair in the corner, pull out my phone, tweet, watching the patriarch wither away, a physical manifestation of the decay of the old world order. It's sad, but necessary for the new to be born. Hashtag hospital, hashtag reality, checking notifications every 5 minutes. The next 6 months are a slow drag. He comes home for hospice. The house fills with medical equipment. Nurses coming and going. I move back into my old room to help. Mostly I just complain about the Wi-Fi speed and criticize the nurses for not being diverse enough. Dad is confined to a hospital bed in the living room. He can't go upstairs. I sit on the couch watching Netflix while he sleeps. Sometimes he wakes up and wants to talk. Vanessa, you there? I'm here, trying to read. How's the dissertation going? It's fine. You wouldn't understand it. It's about the semiotics of digital exclusion. Sounds smart. You were always the smart one. I am smart, Dad. Smarter than you gave me credit for. I always knew you were smart. That's why I worked. So you could think. So you didn't have to lift heavy thing. That's a reductive way to view labor relations. He coughs, a wet rattling sound that lasts for 2 minutes. When he stops, he's gasping. I need to talk to the lawyer. Mr. Miller? Why? Just things to settle. The business. The house. My ears perk up. The business. Right construction is worth a few million easy. Plus the equipment. Plus the real estate. I start doing mental math. If I inherit even half, I could start my own journal. I could buy a loft in Berlin. I could never work again. Not that I work now, but I could stop pretending to look for work. Do you want me to call him? I ask. Yeah, ask him to come by tomorrow and tell your mum to go out for groceries when he's here. I want to do this privately. Privately? Without Mum? She gets upset talking about after. Okay, I'll set it up. I call Miller. I feel a thrill. The transfer of wealth. The boomer horde being passed down to the enlightened generation. I deserve it. It's a payment for emotional damages. The lawyer visits. I try to listen at the door, but they're whispering. I hear Dad's voice, weak but firm. Everything. Are you sure, Rob? Miller asks. Absolute. She's made her position clear. I smile in the hallway. He's talking about Mum, obviously, making sure Mum is taken care of, and then the rest will come to me. Miller leaves looking grim, doesn't look at me. I assume it's because he's a sad old man too. 3 weeks later, Dad passed. 3 a.m. I'm awake scrolling TikTok. Mum calls for me from downstairs. I go down, he's gone. Mum is wailing. It's so primitive. I stand in the doorway, arms crossed. I feel something. No, I suppress it. Tears are a performative display of weakness. I walk over, touch his hand. It's cooling already. Mum looks at me, eyes wild. Call 911. Call someone. Mum, he's gone. 911 is for emergencies. We need the coroner. She screams. How dare you? How dare you be so cold? I walk away to call the non-emergency line, feeling like the only adult in the room. The funeral, huge turnout. I didn't realize he knew this many people. Hundreds of guys. Rough-looking guys. Trucks filling the parking lot. People I've never seen. They're crying, hugging Mum, shaking hands. I stand by the casket wearing a vintage black veil. People come up to me. Your dad was a great man. Best boss I ever had. He loaned me money for rehab. Saved my life. I nod, detach. He had a savior complex. I tell a weeping plumber. He needed to feel needed. The plumber looks at me like I spat on him, walks away. Time for the eulogy. I insisted on speaking. Mum wanted to, but she was a wreck. I walk up to the podium, adjust the mic, pull out my notes from my iPad. Robert Wright was a man of his time. I begin, and like many men of his time, he was emotionally stunted, obsessed with production, and unable to connect on a human level. Murmurs in the crowd, uncomfortable shifting. He expressed love through capital, through money, through fixing broken objects because he couldn't fix his own soul. Mum is sobbing louder now. Mike, Dad's foreman, stands up in the second row, glaring at me. I continue. We must not romanticize the grind. We must not romanticize the sacrifice. My father died because he bought into the lie of the American dream. He worked for a system that replaced him the moment he took his last breath. Let his death be a lesson. Dismantle the patriarchy. Dismantle the work ethic. Reclaim your time. Rest in power, Dad. I step down. Silence. No applause. Just heavy, angry silence. I feel electric. I just spoke truth to power in the belly of the beast. Mike bumps my shoulder as he walks past to the casket. You ungrateful little brat, he whispers. I smile. Truth hurts, Mike. The will reading. 2 weeks later, Miller's office. Mum is there, looking composed but pale. I'm there, wearing my future millionaire outfit. I've already browsed listings for condos in the city. I want to buy my place, and maybe a vacation spot in Joshua Tree. Miller clears his throat. Robert updated his will 3 weeks before his passing. I nod. I know. I arranged the meeting. Miller looks at me over his spectacles, eyes cold as ice. Yes, you did. He starts reading. To my wife Mary, I leave the primary residence, the life insurance policy of $1.5 million, and the retirement savings accounts. Standard. Mum is set. Now regarding the business assets, the equipment, the commercial properties, and the investment condo located at 405 Arts District Boulevard. Here we go. My condo, my money. I, Robert Wright, being of sound mind, have listened closely to my daughter Vanessa for many years. She has taught me that inherited wealth is a poison. Wait, what? She has taught me that the accumulation of capital is immoral. She has taught me that my work is exploitative and damaging to the planet. My stomach drops. The room starts to spin. Therefore, out of respect for her strongly held convictions, I will not burden her with this dirty money. I hereby direct that all business assets be liquidated. The proceeds, approximately $4.2 million, along with the proceeds from the sale of the Arts District condo, sale? Shall be placed into a charitable trust, the Robert Wright Tradesman Scholarship. This fund will provide full tuition and tools for underprivileged youth entering trade schools for plumbing, HVAC, and carpentry. Vanessa Wright is to receive nothing. Since she wants no part of my money, she has a month to find a place that meets her ethical standards. I want to give her the freedom that she always wanted. Silence. Absolute, ringing silence. I can hear the clock ticking. I can hear my own heartbeat. Is this a joke? I whisper. Miller closes the folder. Rob didn't joke about money or work, but I'm his daughter, I scream, standing up. I have rights. I have expectations. You have a master's degree, Miller says calmly, and a PhD in progress. Surely you can navigate the economy on your own merits? You can't do this. Mum, tell him. I turn to Mum. She's looking at the window, not looking at me. Mum? She turns. Her face is hard. I've never seen her look like this. You embarrassed him at the funeral, Vanessa. You mocked him while his body was in the room. I was contextualizing his life. He was a good man, she yells. He loved you. He worked 60 hours a week so you could sit in coffee shops and write about how evil he was. And you took it. You took the money. You took the car. You took the condo. Well, now you don't have to take it anymore. She stands up. I'm going home. Don't come by today. I need space. She walks out. I'm left with Miller. He smiles. A nasty little smile. I'll have the eviction notice sent over formally tomorrow. But really, you should start packing. The market is hot. I drive back to the condo, shaking. This isn't real. It's a power play. I can sue. I call a friend from grad school who is in law school. Hey, can you challenge a will based on spite? Did he have capacity? Was he sane? Yes, unfortunately. Did he explicitly name you and disinherit you? Yes. Then you're screwed. It's actually harder to challenge if he gave a reason. I hang up. I look around my loft, my Eames chair, my wall of books, my artisanal espresso machine. It all belongs to the estate. I have $300 in my checking account. The stipend is gone. The rent is due in 2 weeks. I refuse to panic. I am an educated woman. I have a network. I go on Twitter. Urgent. Just was disinherited by my father for my political beliefs. Literally homeless in 30 days. Need mutual aid. Venmo in bio. I wait. Usually I get 50 to 100 likes. I get 4 likes. 1 comment. Didn't you tweet last week about how inheritance is theft? I block him. I call Julian. Hey bestie. Crisis. Can I crash at your place for a while? Just until I get on my feet. Oh, Vanessa. Listen. My energy is really fragile right now. And your vibes are a lot. I need to protect my sanctuary. Julian, I'm going to be homeless. Have you tried manifesting abundance? Maybe the universe is telling you to shed material attachments. He hangs up. I call Alice. Hey girl. So, I saw your tweet. That sucks, but my boyfriend is moving in, so we don't have room. Sorry. Everyone, every single one of my comrades, gone. They liked me when I had the loft for parties. They liked me when I bought the wine. They liked me when I was a class trader with dad's credit card. Now I'm just poor. The reality check. 30 days later. I'm out. Sold my furniture on Facebook Marketplace to pay for a storage unit and a deposit on a new place. The new place is not a loft. It's a basement studio in a neighborhood I used to write papers about gentrifying. It smells like mold. Windows have bars. I apply for jobs. Professor, we are not hiring adjuncts at this time. Editor, we are looking for someone with 5 years experience. Consultant, ghosted. I have no skills. I can deconstruct a text, but I can't use Excel. I can critique a policy, but I can't manage a schedule. Money is running out. I sell the Subaru. It was in my name, thank God. Buy a bus pass and pay rent for 3 months. I need a job. Any job. I apply to Starbucks. Reject me. Overqualified. I apply to a bookstore. Reject me. Overqualified. I apply to a massive retail chain. They hire me. Stockroom associate. $14 an hour. Part-time. 4 months later. I am exhausted. My back hurts. My feet have blisters. I'm lifting boxes of detergent for 8 hours a day. My manager is a 24-year-old guy named Kyle. He yells at me for being slow. Pick up the pace, Vanessa. We have a truck to unload. I'm pacing myself to avoid repetitive strain injury. I yell back, I don't care. Move the boxes or clock out. I move the boxes. I come home to my basement. I eat ramen. I'm too tired to read theory. I'm too tired to tweet. I just stare at the ceiling. The toilet in my apartment starts running, constant hissing sound. Water bill is not included in rent. I call the landlord. I'll get to it when I get to it. 3 days later, still running. I try to jiggle the handle. Nothing. I take the lid off the tank, look inside. It's a mystery. Levers, chains, flappers. I have no idea how it works. I feel a surge of panic. I'm a genius. And I can't stop water from flowing. I sit on the bath mat and cry. Ugly crying. Snot and tears. I miss my dad. I miss him fixing things. I miss him just handling the world so I didn't have to. I realize, with a sick feeling in my stomach, he didn't do it to control me. He did it because he knew I couldn't do it myself, and I hated him for knowing that. One Tuesday, I'm walking to the bus stop. It's raining. Cold, miserable rain. A truck splashes me as it drives by. I scream, "Watch where you're going." The truck pulls over. It's a brand new Ford F-350, white, clean, logo on the side, Right Constructions and Plumbing. My heart stops. The driver gets out. It's a kid, maybe 20, Latino kid, wearing a crisp uniform. "Hey, I'm so sorry, miss. I didn't see the puddle." He runs over. "Are you okay?" I look at him. He looks concerned, kind. I'm fine." He looks at me closer. "Wait, aren't you Mr. Wright's daughter?" I freeze. "I used to be." He smiles. "I was at the funeral, in the back. I'm Luis." "Hi, Luis. Your dad? He changed my life. I was going down a bad path. He gave me a job. And then," he points to the truck, "I got the scholarship. It paid for my trade school, and it gave me a grant to buy this truck to start my own franchise." He pats the truck like it's a horse. He was a great man. I owe him everything. He looks at my wet clothes, my name tag from the retail store, my worn-out shoes. He doesn't say anything mean. He just looks, pitying. Do you need a ride somewhere?" I want to say no. I want to scream at him that he stole my inheritance, that that truck is mine, that that happiness is mine. But I'm cold and tired and broke. "Yes," I whisper. "I'm going to the bus stop. Hop in. I'll take you wherever you need." I climb into the passenger seat. It smells like new leather and coffee and faint sawdust. It smells like Dad. I start crying, silently. Luis drives. He talks about his business, how busy he is, how much money he's making. "It's hard work," he says, "but it's honest. And people always need toilets fixed, right?" I flinch. "Yeah, they do." He drops me off at my basement apartment, looks at the peeling paint, the bars on the windows. "This is where you live?" "Yeah, for now." He nods, reaches into his glove box, pulls out a card. "Hey, if you ever have any issues, plumbing, heating, call me. Family discount. Free, actually, for Rob's daughter." He hands me the card. I take it. My hands are shaking. "Thanks, Luis. Take care, Vanessa." He drives away. I stand on the sidewalk, clutching the card. It's thick, high-quality cardstock. I look at my apartment door. I go inside. The toilet is still hissing. I look at the card. I look at the toilet. I pick up my phone. I dial the number. "Right Construction. This is Luis." "Hi," I croak. It's Vanessa." "Hey, Vanessa. Did you forget something in the truck? My toilet is broken, and I don't know how to fix it. Don't worry. I'll be there in 5. I hang up. I sit on the floor, and for the first time in my life, I wait for a man to come save me, and I'm actually grateful for what my father built.